Hey y'all, me all in good fun on December 5th, Friday. And I know some of you have been wondering where I've been. Well, I've been a little bit busy personally, but also I've been having trouble coming up with anything funny to say with everything that's been going on. I mean, I could give out a whole bunch of a-hole and hypocrite awards. I could do more stories than my You Can't Make This Shit Up series. But I've had so much data coming at me, I don't know where to start. I mean, just this past week, United States got called out for war crimes. War crimes, international war crimes, for blowing up the ship in the Caribbean. And then when they saw two survivors clinging on for life, blowing them up. All crazy. And then this big-boobed blonde bimbo, Triple K Roland Levitt, where she's trying to pin the blame on a guy named Admiral Bradley. You know, take the heat off of Pete Kegsbreath, the head of the Department of War. The guy who Pentagon Watchdog Group said this week had endangered the military with his signal chat leaks. So he's already in pretty hot water. They're trying to protect him. Next thing you know, I'm sure Triple K, she's going to come out and she's going to blame somebody else. You know who, right? Joe Biden. All Joe Biden's fault. But let's move along. So also this week, the occupier of the White House, he woke up at 1 a.m. not to have a pee like most people his age do in the middle of the night, but to put out a bunch of tweets, more than 100 on his True Social platform, telling all sorts of lies and then blaming one of Nancy Pelosi's staffers for spending 2 years planning January 6th. Well, since Pumpkin Spice says January 6th was a day of love, I guess we ought to give out an award to this person for planning such a successful love fest. But let's move on to a different topic. So the White House occupier has been really busy telling everybody how intelligent he is. He aced his IQ test. Think about this. The President of the United States doesn't know the difference between an IQ test and a cognitive exam given at a doctor's office. This is the man who has access to the nuclear codes. Finally, speaking of Tangerine Tito, he was caught on video a whole bunch of times this week falling asleep during meetings, falling asleep during his own cabinet meetings. I mean, look, I'd like to not be in those meetings myself, frankly, with all those people, and I don't even have to talk about what they are. If I were in that room, I'd be wide awake. I'd have my running shoes on, one hand on my pocketbook, if you know what I mean, and the other hand on my can of pepper spray. Anyway, that's why you haven't seen me. I'll come back a little later and visit with y'all about some other topics. Have a beautiful day.